It's 4:45 on a Tuesday in November 1957, in a small brick house outside Dayton, Ohio. A woman named Dorothy is standing at her kitchen sink with wet hands and dry eyes, listening for a car engine 2 streets away that she has learned, over 11 years of marriage, to recognize before anyone else can hear it. The dishes from lunch are still in the sink. The baby's toys are fanned out across the living room rug like a small, chaotic galaxy. There is a laundry basket on the stairs that has been there since Sunday. She has exactly 11 minutes. By the time headlights swing into the driveway, the toys are in a wicker basket by the fireplace. The dishes are drying on a towel, out of sight, behind the counter's edge. The basket on the stairs has vanished into a bedroom closet with a door that clicks shut like a secret. Dorothy has run a comb through her hair and touched a little color to her lips, not for beauty, but for armor. The house looks like nothing ever happened in it at all. This is a countdown of 12 real things, objects, habits, and quiet inventions that let American housewives in the 1950s hide the everyday chaos of raising a family in under 15 minutes flat. We'll start with the small tricks tucked into drawers and closets, and we'll end with the truth about where this whole image of the perfect housewife actually came from. Because it isn't quite what you think. Stay with me till the end. Number 12. The Hoosier cabinet's hidden compartments. Long before built-in kitchens were common, American kitchens were built around a single piece of furniture called the Hoosier cabinet, a tall wooden hutch with flour bins, spice racks, and a pull-out enamel worktop that folded down to hide the mess of baking the moment you were done. By the 1950s, steel cabinet makers like Youngstown and St. Charles had turned that same idea into permanent kitchen walls, doors that shut on flour dust and butter wrappers in a single motion. The mess didn't disappear. It just had somewhere to go. Number 11. The junk drawer. The phrase itself is older than the decade. It shows up in print as far back as 1912. But the 1950s kitchen turned it into an institution. Every American kitchen had one drawer that held the string, the rubber bands, the loose screws, the birthday candles from 3 years ago. It was the one place a housewife was allowed to be disorganized, on purpose, because everything else in the house had to look otherwise. Number 10. The laundry chute. Postwar suburban homes, especially the 2-story colonials going up by the thousands outside cities like Chicago and Philadelphia, were often built with a laundry chute cut straight through the floor from an upstairs closet to the basement. A dirty shirt, a soiled diaper, a muddy sock. It dropped out of sight in under 2 seconds. Out of the bedroom, out of the hallway, out of the story the house was telling that day. Number 9. The Tupperware burp. In 1946, an inventor named Earl Tupper patented a lightweight plastic container with a flexible seal. You pressed the center down, and the air burped out, locking in freshness. What it also did, quietly, was let a housewife take a half-eaten casserole, a mismatched bowl of leftover peas, and the sad end of a pot roast, and turn them into a clean stack in the icebox. Tupperware parties, which spread through American living rooms in the 1950s, weren't really selling plastic. They were selling order. Number 8. Formica. Invented decades earlier by 2 Westinghouse engineers, Formica didn't become a kitchen fixture until the postwar boom, when its wipeable, heat-resistant surface replaced porous wood and cracked tile on countertops across the country. A spill that would have stained wood for a week now came off with one pass of a rag. The counter could go from batter-splattered to spotless in the time it took a car to turn onto the street. Number 7. The apron with the deep pocket. Almost every housewife of the era owned at least one full apron with a wide front pocket, and that pocket did real work: clothespins, a stray button, a child's mitten, a grocery list gone soft with handling. When company knocked, the apron came off in one motion and hung on a hook by the door, taking the day's clutter with it before anyone in the front hall ever saw it. Number 6. The good room. Nearly every American home of the period had one room, the front parlor, the formal living room, that the family rarely used and almost never messed up. Furniture there was often kept under clear plastic slipcovers, cushions plumped and untouched, ashtrays empty. It existed for exactly one purpose, so that if someone arrived without warning, there was always one door you could open onto a room that looked like nobody lived there at all. We're halfway down, and something is starting to come into focus. Every trick so far has been physical: a drawer, a chute, a pocket, a plastic cover. Small, clever, real solutions to a real problem. But the next 6 are about something bigger. They're about why the mess had to disappear in the first place, and who decided that it did. Number 5. The 15-minute pickup. Home economics extension programs, run through land-grant universities and county offices across the country, taught a specific method that many housewives learned from their mothers or from community classes. Walk the main rooms of the house once, fast, gathering anything out of place into one basket, before doing anything else. It wasn't about deep cleaning. It was about the appearance of order arriving faster than any actual mess could be solved. Number 4. The Good Housekeeping Seal. Since 1909, the Good Housekeeping Institute had been testing household products and stamping its seal of approval on the ones that passed, and by the 1950s, that seal was appearing on everything from vacuum cleaners to canned soup. It told a housewife, in one small printed guarantee, that she didn't have to test the product herself, that someone else had already done the worrying. It was reassurance sold as a symbol, and it worked because the fear underneath it was real. Number 3. The scrap drive generation. Most housewives of the 1950s had come of age during the Second World War, saving tin cans, cooking fat, and rubber for the war effort, rationing sugar and butter with government stamps. That habit of making nothing visible go to waste didn't end when the war did. It turned inward, into homes, into the instinct to hide, reuse, and repurpose, rather than let disorder simply sit in view. Number 2. The department store window. Postwar advertising, magazine spreads, and department store window displays sold an image of the American home that was staged, lit, and photographed to look effortless, because it was often literally staged by professional set designers for the photograph. Real houses, with real children and real mud on real shoes, were being measured against pictures that had never existed as lived-in rooms at all. Which brings us to number 1. And here is the truth this whole story has been walking toward. Number 1. The guide that was never real. For years, a document called The Good Wife's Guide, supposedly published in a magazine called Housekeeping Monthly in May of 1955, has circulated online, full of instructions to have dinner ready, clear the clutter, and greet your husband with a warm smile before he ever asks. It has been shared for over a decade as proof of what women were told to be. Fact-checkers, including Snopes, have never found a single verified copy of that magazine ever existing. No archive holds it. No woman alive from that decade remembers reading it. The pressure was real. The hiding was real. Dorothy, at her sink with 11 minutes on the clock, was real, and so were millions of women just like her. But the tidy little rulebook we imagined telling her to do it, that part we made up long after she was gone, because it was easier to believe there had been a set of written rules than to admit the rules were never written down at all. They lived in silence, in expectation, in the space between a car door closing and a husband's key turning in the lock. That's the part that should give you chills. Not that someone told her to hide the mess. That no one ever had to. If this brought back a memory, a laundry chute, a good room nobody sat in, an apron pocket full of someone else's day, hit subscribe. There's more real, forgotten history like this waiting for you, and the next story is already ready when you are.